Welcome to Kill Team Casuals, a podcast all about Kill Team filmed in 3 different time zones by 3 different gents. The news is out and everyone is in a frenzy about the new Gallowfall rules, but holding your hand through this troubling time are the Kill Team Casuals. Enjoy.
I think we just missed Russ's fantastic burp, and we may have caught some of it.
Didn't happen.
Dang it.
Didn't happen. The tail end. You know what? I can belch on command if you want, but I feel like that might be not too much. Too much for the audio listeners.
Save it.
I'll save it. I'll save it for a private chat. Private chat, guys. I'll send you a burp. I used to be able to burp the alphabet as a kid, and I still am a kid, so I can still do it, I'm sure.
Guys,
I might vomit by the time I get to tea.
This is how the show is kicking off today. This is it. This is live. Welcome to everyone in the chat.
You're welcome.
As always, they didn't see any behind the scenes, technicality issues as I was sorting out frames to get the show
Seamless.
ready and underway.
Always.
Seamless.
What issues?
As always.
What issues?
We just get better every week. We're like a fine $2 wine.
Fine wine, baby.
It's just, let's kick it off as we always do. Let's
Thunderbird.
welcome the number one guest host of our show. It's Ben from Battle Brothers Tabletop. Welcome to the show, my friend.
What's up, fellas? What's up, folks? I'm reading some. I'm just pulling up the chat, and I'm just seeing some of the comments about this. And Papa Kraken says, "I just pounded edibles at work and thought I went deaf because we had no sound on." Shout out to you, Papa Kraken.
Something just fell off
where
me.
are we at? Yeah. So intro time. Sorry, intro time. Passing it over to Russ, the handsomest man in all of England.
Wow, I appreciate it. It's true. Thank you, Ben, and thank you, everyone. You're not deaf. Papa Kraken, stay with us. I'm going to throw this intro back up to the man, the myth, the moist, Rhys Salmon. Oh, yeah.
The moist salmon.
Moist
Here
maker.
I am.
He's himself.
Hey, as always,
Rhys the moist maker.
Just the moist maker is rearing the merch again today, so please check it out.
What a loser I am.
Yeah,
guys. What a loser.
It's been noted,
Dude,
Ben. It's been noted.
You're not wearing your
I
own
need to buy
face?
a shirt. I know. I need to buy a shirt and have my wife put it on and then post it so I can be cool like you guys.
Exactly right. That's how it works. I just want to say the more I wear this shirt, though, the more I notice some really good details. Because Russ is obviously the fantastic artist who did this shirt. If you haven't seen it,
Beautiful work.
It's on our Instagrams, modeled by our lovely ladies. But the detail I like here is Ben. This is like him guessing in Legions of Rust, this firing randomly into the air. That's a nice little detail. I noticed obviously as well, me pointing this way, but both of you guys going that way.
Oh, yeah.
There's some.
So Russ, how much of this
drunk cats?
How much of that was intentional, Russ? Let's go behind the shirt, like behind
Take
the
us
music,
into
behind
the
the
art.
shirt.
Oh, man.
How much of that was intentional?
It was intentional. The idea is Rhys is directing the boat. He steers the ship and he's like, that way, boys. And everyone, well, not everyone, the other guy's facing the right way. Because that was going to be like a guest spot head. So the other guy's facing the right way. And me and you are literally going the opposite direction. You're firing in the air wild because you bring chaos. You did have a little pendant on your waist that's an upside down pineapple. But in the overall composition, it got lost. But I put a lot of detail that ended up getting missed in it, but I was just like, I love my favorite bit is the Rhys is that way and where other way.
I did also at one point my car also did have the tilting shield and it had this map of Australia on it. I did really like that touch. Look, there's future details that can be added in, but
of course.
Hey, great merch, fantastic work by Russ setting all of that up. So if you do want some merch, you are interested. There's cups, t-shirts, jumpers, hoodies. There's the logo as well. You may as well check it out, Russ.
All different colorways.
Where do people go
to
get it? Where's the link, Russ? Where can people find it?
Teespring. It's on Teespring. Casual Wargamers. I shall put the link in the announcement page.
Teespring, baby.
And if that was the best Teespring. That's how it goes. That's where you find it. Teespring.
Look, it's been, some would say, a controversial week rules-wise. The two teams last week we spoke a lot about. I'm going to bring them up. these guys here, the Beastmen, the Felgor Ravagers, have come out, and so have their rules, and all the lovely lucky people who get to preview and check out the rules have done their darndest to fill in us plebeians on what we've got to look forward to. Now, Russ, I know you were obviously finger on the pulse. You were all over these rules. Didn't stop reading them, I heard, all weekend. You were studying like a madman.
Yes.
Yes. You want to go first, Russ? Tell us.
Russ,
why don't you? Why don't you give us a rundown? What do you think about?
Yeah,
the rules,
take
Russ?
us through it. Sorry, Russ. Yep.
What do I think of the rules? First thoughts, just off the top of my head, I think they're rules. I think they're designed to be used in a game.
Yes.
And I think they're centered around the Beastman. I'm gonna level with you. So I was away for the weekend, and I semi read some of the rules, and I semi understood less than what I read, which doesn't make any sense. If that makes any sense to you, we're playing Legions of Russ. No, I don't think like I was going to say, I think someone else needs to take the reins for this one. But from what I read, I thought that's going to be really fun. But I'm going to reserve my. I feel like I'm doing what not a lot of people do. I said I think I'm going to reserve my rage until I've actually played it a few times, because I don't think it looks bad.
We won't have that.
What are you nuts?
We won't have
Are
that.
you a fool?
You know what we're doing? We're going to Rhys's rules. It's been a long time. We're bringing it in.
Play us in. Play us in.
It's just a game. Rolling some dice. You can't tell the difference, then you need Rhys's rules.
I definitely missed that
Never know how long it
explosion.
lasts.
It's been a long while since we got to see the explosion live. And
I'm just going to say a big old thank you, a big old hey to a first-time chatter, Victory NYC in the chat. Long-time listener, first-time chat member. Welcome to the pod, sir.
Appreciate
Welcome to
you
the pod.
stopping on by. Make yourself comfortable and get prepared to have your socks cleanly blown off as we explain rules incorrectly.
There goes the shoes. Oh, mama.
I've got up on screen. This is the one that's got the noses out of joints. This is Frenzy. So this is the Felgor Ravager specific rule. This is, I mean, I think it's really cool. Thematically, I'm on board. I really love this idea.
Yeah, I love that they're trying something new.
Yes.
That's always good. That's never bad to try something new.
And we spoke about our concerns with this team being an all close combat team, one of the first, well, pretty much the first all close combat team apart from some little pistols.
Yeah.
And their ability to get up the board and get into contact. So, I mean, this really, well, make sure that they can do some damage and getting, hiccup, I got too excited. And getting up the board.
Trouble. He's in trouble.
Is actually, it's viable. So Ben, let's go to you because you look. I know you were excited before we got on the air today.
Yes.
So fire away. You've got some things. Get it off your chest. Get that hair off your chest.
So let me prepare. So I think that we have never before seen this level of outrage on. Speaking of outrage, my children just barged through the door.
This isn't.
I can hear them whispering.
Children.
And so here we go. So I think there's one. Oh, we might have to pass to Russ for a minute while I get my crying children out.
Okay, Russ.
You're going to pass to me, and I have no idea what's going on. So I'm going to lead us through this. Don't worry. Frenzy. It seems. You know what? It doesn't seem as bad as as when I first read it, because it seems like it's only in death does duty end, but pretty much everyone gets it, but it's got a whole lot of caveats to it. So you die after each activation.
It's still happening live for those listening who can see the frenzy rule.
We'll do it live.
Sorry,
yeah,
sorry, folks. That's real life.
I
Sorry.
covered for you.
Yeah.
Baby. It's okay. No one noticed a thing.
You don't need
I was
to
all
talk
over
now.
the rules
Okay.
like a hot flannel.
Yeah, you don't need to talk now
I
because
wasn't.
Russ has
Help me.
covered it.
Help
It's
me.
not even. It's
Russ
Russ's
did it all.
rules
Russ
now.
did it
It's
all.
Russ's rules.
It's Russ's rules. Great.
Yeah.
No, so what I
Done.
think, and apologies for the interruption. I think that we have never seen this level of outrage before on a kill team being released. And the outrage was on day flipping 1. Day 1, everybody lost their minds. Now, let's be honest. This team looks good. Like, we're not stupid here. Like, this team looks really good, really strong, really fun. It probably won't be able to see it, but here, like, I started on my Skaven Ratman the second that they announced it.
I love it.
So I'm super pumped. They look good. But can we all just, like, chill for a second and say, okay, this looks really good.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
at
a little
11.
bit too good. And guess what? What is the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario that this team is broken, and in 3 months or less, they'll put out a balance patch and tone them back down.
Yeah.
Right? That is the worst. And we have to see them in tournaments. We have to see them, like, if they are so broken, prove it. I think there are ways to play around it. What are your elites? Your intercession is going to shoot them at distance with their 3 APL, charge in, and then crit them to death. Boom, that's a dead guy.
Yeah.
Your guardsmen are going to AP or GA2, throw a crack grenade, hopefully kill one, and then the next guy's going to zop in, hit him with a crit, give them the auto-retain hit thing that they can do. Like, there are ways to play around it.
Yeah.
And it is not an auto-win, in my opinion.
They 3 APL.
Beastman. No.
Intercession?
Oh no, I thought you said. Oh, sorry, I
No,
thought
you
you were
meant
talking
Marines.
about the
Marines
Beastman
are
being 3
3
APL. I was like, wow.
No, Marines.
For a second,
no,
I was
no.
like, no, they are broken. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was very confused.
Yeah,
I was
so-
like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. So there are ways to deal with them. Also, here's an idea. Maybe when you shoot them, maybe don't try and kill them. Or when you're melee with them,
Just
don't
weaken
try
them
and kill
down.
them.
Yeah.
Bring them down to 2 or 3 wounds. So now if they want to charge you, guess what? They're going to die on their own activation. And so Rhys, I don't want to Kanye this and take over this segment, but I think that, but I just have to say, so I think that there are ways to play around this. When you rock up to a table against Gellerpox, you change your game plan.
Yeah.
When you rock up to a table and it's intercession, you change your game plan. Like, if this is truly broken, it'll get fixed. Yeah. Let's enjoy our adult board game that we all love so much.
Yeah, it might lead to people taking different, like taking full advantage of a roster. But like, like if you've got more roster choice, this I mean I don't know, because literally I've just looked at the rules on our own live stream for the first time properly. But I'm thinking like there'll be like, for example, like if you're legionaries against something, you might be changing up. You might be like, well, the butcher might be quite good because he's going to charge in, deal a bit of damage, but not kill anyone, and wound a whole load of people with Reap, because I imagine they'll group up if they're charging in. And
they're encouraged to as well, because a lot of their rules are about being close and supporting. So that's it. Anything that can.
I mean, in a weird way,
Yeah.
you know what they're going to do, right? Like, you know what they, I mean, again, I assume there's some difference, but they've not got a lot of shooting. So you know they're going to try and hit combat.
Yes.
So that is the whole game plan is, can they score mission points? And they can't do mission actions when they're frenzied anyway.
Correct.
So if you can frenzy them and you've scored some objectives, you might just be able to outlast them.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it's a different way. I like the fact that it brings up a new challenge, because this team will be different to play against than it seems like most teams. There's never been a team as aggressively melee as this team is. And that's quite a cool thing. And like I say, if it is too much, they'll dial it back a little bit. But so far, it just seems like, okay, I'm going to really have to think about what I do when I fight them. And like you say, not killing them in your activation might be it. That might be a real solid defense, to be like, injure them, go for low damage weapons that'll take 2, 3, 4 wounds off them, leave them with a couple left, they die in their activation, frenzy doesn't come up. And it's like, okay, that's a viable option.
So
And
just
then,
to confirm, so with the way this works, and this is me asking the question here. So say, for instance, Russ, as you're suggesting there, that we go, we plink this guy down to 2 wounds, he charges in, you then kill him in close combat. Does he now no longer gain the frenzy thing because he's died in his own activation? Or does it still carry on to the end of his next activation or the end of the game? Which comes first?
Sorry, I'm stuck in some other screen.
I was basically.
I thought either you both. I'd broken both of your brains simultaneously.
Oh no! I was a mixture between looking at chat and then LMXD.
I replied to. Yeah, I had to reply to an important message that was potentially relevant to this podcast. So sorry.
Oh, I love that the timing for both of you was just like where I went in.
I'm not 100% sure on the like I say, I've not read the rules
question?
Based on what Ben said.
Can you repeat it again and say it slower?
Yes, slower. So my question: if we're taking Russ's strategy, the Russ's tried and true Felgor,
your strategy,
Felgor killing strategy, we're plinking off some wounds, and and then that warrior is now going to charge in its own activation, but it dies in close combat. Yep. Does it still gain the frenzy token until the end of its next activation, or because it's died in its own activation, it's just down?
If it dies, if you die in your own activation, you don't go to frenzied. You just go straight to incapacitated. Yeah. Right. So there are a few things like they seem potentially a tad bit overtuned. What could they do? At first glance, I think if you are frenzied, you probably shouldn't contest an objective because you can do that right now. That seems like something that could potentially be a little problematic. But again, that's not a huge change. And I also say that is not enough to call for people to be fired or to say that, man, this depresses me. If this depresses you, then you should probably find another hobby, my guy. Like it's straight from me to you, all love. If a whack rule comes out and you hate your life now, maybe you should find something else to do. That is my opinion.
This may
casual in all things.
All love.
This may not be the game for you if a new rule can ruin your day. That's very true. I think the thing is too, you've never seen Kill Team so well supported as it has been right now too. As you said, we know we're only ever X amount of days or months away from balanced data slates if they're needed, or units getting buffed, debuffed, whatever. We know it's going to happen, so you don't need to tear it all down. I actually think the most exciting thing, and Ben, you touched on it before, is the fact that finally we've got teams that are playing very differently. This isn't a melee team that for some reason has a sniper in it, i.e., the blooded. Like every now and again we're like, oh, it's a really melee focused team, but we've still got a sniper and a medic and things that maybe you wouldn't expect. And a plasma gunner, yeah. So I'm really pumped, a bit like the Gallowfall, that you've got a team that literally plays a very unique brand of style, and that does lean into using a full roster or changing your game style to counteract it, which is a good thing. Because I look at the Votan and I'm like, I'm really excited about some of their rules, but a lot of the models, I've seen them before. We've got the gunners, we've got the comms guys, we've got the medic, we've got the, you've got all these archetypes we've seen before. We know them. It just feels like it's another team with a little bit of flavor. Whereas these guys, the Felgors, there's no other team like them, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that, again, they're going to play one way, right? Like there's not a ton of, I could be wrong. I'm a fool. But Felgor Ravagers are going to do one thing. They're going to come at you. They're going to hold points and they're going to run at you.
They're coming hard.
That is fairly predictable. Yep. They're predictable, right? And they're going to do it fast. They're going to do it early. They're going to do it prematurely.
Very little romance. And so front back, no romance. Boom.
Yeah, and so you know what's going to happen. You know how they're going to play most of the time. And so again, I think the damage mitigation is, I like it. It can feel a little bit stale, right? Like the -1 damage, that's been done. We don't want to see that on every tough team. This is a new fun mechanic. Is it overtuned? Yeah, maybe a little bit. But you know what? Let's wait and see. Let's not lose our minds. Let's have a good time. We are all adults playing with cool little plastic toys at the end of the day.
I'm sorry, Norley 2 is killing me in the comments here.
I know Norley. He's a local player.
You're an activation, you die in real life. And that happened. And then he's like, we've never had a guy with 3 knives before. This is big for the meta. And he's like, Slasher Boy. And he's like, okay, but he doesn't have 3 hands. Boom, 50% more stabber. And he's killing me here. I'm having trouble.
Trouble. These are just facts.
Norley's
These are just facts. These are just facts.
So also, hey, but while we're in Rhys's rules, they have my new favorite rule. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just really hyped and a little frustrated.
I love some positivity. Squirt the positivity.
They have my new favorite. Like, I think Shane from Command Point in his breakdown, like he said it like really well. Like, they're just very unga bunga. Like this is what we do. And their shaman. It's the coolest thing in the world. It's my favorite thing. He can tell. I don't know if you might not know this, Russ. This might be news for you.
I don't know any of his rules.
The shaman can select one gun. All he needs is line of sight, right? If I can see you, your ranged weapon now gets the hot rule. So if you roll one, you take 3 mortal wounds. Yes,
that's
so
class.
Your blast, your frag, and if it has 2 profiles, you pick, right? So if you have a grenade launcher over there. Guess what? Your frag profile, go ahead, frag my whole team. Every time you roll a 1, you're taking 3 mortal wounds. And you can do it every turn of the game. And it lasts for the whole game. It's so fun.
Yeah. What?
I love it.
Is it an action he has to do, or does he just say
it's his power? It's his boom.
Yeah.
Has
he only got 1 power?
He's got 3.
He has 3. Oh, one is a 3-up invuln.
Yeah, which is
very nice. One is a 3-up invuln.
I've been away for a bank holiday. I've been seeing Emma's family, and I have not really looked at my phone to look at all the rules when the rules drop. So I'm brand new to that. But that sounds class.
Yeah,
that sounds like a lovely little bit of something.
Another thing that's really cool about it as well is all 3 of the spells, nothing ranged. Again, it's not. There's a cheeky surprise.
No damage.
Sniper profile, fireball, blast. No, this even the shaman fits into the. We're getting up the board. I'm going to help you get up the board. He's going to, it makes it harder for your, like the opponent's killing.
3-up invuln.
3-up invuln, helping guys get down
the dude
board.
that's charging the plasma guy. Be like 3-up invuln, charge the heavy guns. You can live and then boom, get into there.
Yeah.
Woo.
So I think this is one of the teams out of the 2 in the box. I'm the most excited about it just because it's so unique. It's so different. And you know, I same as when the Gallowfall, even the Star Striders, same thing. They're a human team, but having the support elements and lots of weird kind of hero-y kind of characters. Like, I love teams that really don't feel like the traditional archetypes of you've got a leader, you've got gunners, you've got
sniper.
The flavor is beautiful.
I like that. I got the corpse grinder kit. I've got like a few random models. Like, I've got a big weird shaman dude, and I was like, "Ooh, okay, I could use him as the shaman." Then I want to basically expand on my cult that I've done for the Blooded, and I thought if I can get some more cultists and build them into some sort of weird Beastman equivalent. So I got the corpse grinder kit because they're mainly pistol. Well, I've already got the jackals for the Blooded, and I've already got them on bases that are like 28, 25 now. I put them all down so they would fit the Blooded. So I was like, they're too small now but that is another great team. I know some guys in the local Met. I think Chris and Andy in the local Manchester scene. Shout out hands to you guys. Are going to do. They're thinking about using Goliath and Necroman. I thought that's a class idea because there's loads of other big units, and they're already on 32 mil bases. So I thought that's a class one. Yeah, but I've gone for the corpse grinder kit because I love those double axes. I was like, that'll look class for like the melee team. So I'm like, looking forward to that.
I think demons too. I think Chaos Demons, this is a great proxy for Chaos Demons.
100%.
Very thematic, not dying.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's good. And then a shaman, obviously.
Perfect, yeah.
Perfect. I didn't even think about that. That's this might be the best Chaos Demons team going.
Yeah, Drone 4321 in the chat just said there's a whole bunch of potential for it. Yeah, you've got Khorne Cultists, Tyrannid Warriors, Repentia, Necromancer Gangers, Drakari. How good's that?
That's a damn good idea.
All the rules you could do for just this one team to finally have a team that's just all mad cats.
Aberrants and Metamorphs.
There you go. Aberrant. Yeah, so
that's a great one. Yeah.
The potentials are endless. I've got those guys on the shelf behind me. That's it. That I can run that as well. I haven't built
ready to roll.
So I think that's one of the things that's cool about it is it's cool rule sets now that also really proxy well or encourage kit bashing. And I'm always a big fan. Like the Inquisitor retinue one that's coming up. Again, the rules don't necessarily have to be perfect if it's letting us have the sandbox to play in and add our own flavor and stuff. I think that's really cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
I'm super pumped. I love the new design elements that they're trying out and putting in the game. Just big fan, super big fan, and I think that we all need to just enjoy the game that we love. And if something is broken, what has the team taught us? Because let's be honest, Kill Team is a very balanced. Yeah. Well, is a very balanced game, and if it is broke, they will fix it. Like that's what we have seen, and so I'm a fan. I think the boys behind Kill Team and girls are just crushing it. So if it's too strong, it'll be fixed. Don't be depressed. Don't be mad. Outrage is not cool. Getting mad over a board game is not cool. That's what I say.
What do you guys think of? Let's flip the coin to the other side, the Votan. Russ, obviously, again, we'll come to you for your expert opinion on their rules shortly. But Ben, if you had a bit of a chance, I, for one, the 2-circle movement.
What?
Yes, it's true.
God dang it, Russ! Russ, what are you?
No, the 2-circle movement.
Man, he's casual.
I'm going to a tournament next week, and I don't even know the rules, man. What 2-circle movement? That's such a death sentence.
Very pre-buff Cassican.
He said 12. I was like, wow.
Yeah, very pre-Cassican buff. There with hitting on 4s, 7 wounds.
Did they have at least three mission actions?
They can't. Well, it's interesting.
One guy does.
One of the rules that they've got is it's like they can't be have their movement minimized anymore. But it's like, well, that's everybody's got that.
I mean, everybody's got good, that. Isn't it? Yeah, I was going to say, don't worry, they're 2-circle movement, but they can never be 1 circle. It's like, if they could be, I would never play them ever. Yeah. That would be the worst team ever. 1-circle movement. That's a joke. But no, obviously, they can't. But yeah, that's rubbish. I hate 2-circle.
Yeah.
That's put me right off them.
Yeah, the grudge tokens.
Jetpack, though.
Yeah, the jetpack dude's like 12. He can do a 2 APL, 12-inch move in a straight line. Yeah.
What have they got that helps them? OLMXD's just said they can do free shoot. So what's going on with that? The magma rail can always move and shoot.
Oh, yeah, it's not heavy.
Oh, because it's not heavy.
Yeah, it's not heavy. Yeah.
Okay. But I'm just thinking mission action specifically for play, because they've just upped the amount of points you can get from a mission, and it seems like they're not very well geared towards missions if they've only got just because movement's so important.
Yeah.
It must be something going on. There must be something else they have that can get the mission actions, right?
Well, it's
is it a 3-up save? Is it a 3-up save?
I thought it was
really? That's pretty decent.
Save. No, I thought it was 4-up.
Is it a 4-up save?
Yeah.
See, I've been so focused. I've been so outraged at the outrage for Felgor Ravagers. I'm a little uneducated on.
Yeah, you were too busy on that.
They have the lugger.
Wow.
Yeah, they have the lugger.
Well, it's okay. The lugger is Rhys the lugger. Oh, they got some rubbish names. Yeah. Sorry, they got some rubbish names. Come on, for these things. Like I hate the thing where they try and do the spelling stuff.
The guy with the big backpack.
He looks cool. He looks cool.
Well, he can change somebody's loadout. You can change your weapon.
Yeah, that's very cool.
You walk up
so he's
to
like
him
carrying like extra special weapons.
And you swap your guns. Yeah.
What? That's actually man. Nice. I like. Oh no! Someone mentioned a rule in my local chat. They were like, the knuckle duster dude can punch someone and move them back.
Yes.
Is that something that happened, or was I making that up?
Yeah.
No, that's
true. They do have a movement. That's cool. I like that.
That's really strong. So I think they have some teeth.
Yeah.
I think they have some teeth. I just think they're going to be a little bit of a slow burn, like Blooded. Like one of the best teams in the game now in the right hands. You know, that was condemned to be the worst team ever at whatever.
Yeah, they were, weren't they? I was going to say, I think it's far too early to judge any of these teams as either too broke or just woefully underpowered. We can obviously react as we react, and 2 movement sucks hard because only teams I've ever used with 2 movement, it was such a, like, loot and salvage. If you get loot and salvage and you were a 2 movement team, when I'm thinking like Necrons, you might as well give up. You're not winning that game unless the other player is 100%. Terrible. And it was just straight away, it was just like, well, what's the point? I've lost, right? But it's not. It's a different game from the compendium now. So I like the idea that, like, let's not say that they're rubbish, even though vomiting at the thought of 2 movement. They might have other stuff. I mean, like, if I played them, they might be like, you know what? You don't feel it. That you don't necessarily feel it because there's shenanigans you can do, maybe. But yeah, I'm not.
I think they're going to be interesting. I think that they're going to be one of those teams that it takes a little bit. I think I think it was I can't remember, but they're going to be a team that scales up as the game goes longer because the grudge tokens that they give out start to add up, and the grudge tokens basically let them retain normal hits. So they get their grudge tokens. The leader can give out more.
None of the rules.
If they kill a unit, that unit gets a grudge token. So, and each one of those is retaining a normal hit next time you shoot at them. So all of a sudden that hitting on 4s becomes a little bit less painful because you're starting to retain a lot more normal hits against them.
So is it like blooded tokens? Basically, you get if you have a grudge token, or is it like different effects?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So so it's like you just add them up. So I think that, I mean, again, very thematic to 40k. So it ties in very well. If you're used to playing with 40k, you're going to be pretty familiar and comfortable playing them. They have 3 gunner options, so all the guns hit like trucks, like all their gunner options, and they've got a lot of equipment. And the jump pack guy also can do they've got shenanigans with movements for changing terrain or adding bit like the Wormblade breach points where you can go climb things for free or get up and down. So they've got things that help them. I think probably what you will find if you play them is that you need to come into the game with a bit of a plan of, I know I'm going to make it so I can jump that terrain really easy. And that's going to be my game plan. Sometimes they're not going to be as pick up and play as some other teams where you're like, well, I can just climb that, or I can just, whatever. You'll have to have a bit of a plan.
Yeah. It seems like you're going to have to be playing. Yeah.
I was gonna say the Felgo Ravager. It's kind of a nice balance because the Beastmen are pick up and play. Which is what I like. Which this very smooth brain likes is that you pick up and play, you do a thing, but the thinking
he's dead now. No, he's not dead. Put him back. He's not dead. I can have him again. I can play Bang Bang once more. Okay, I'll put him back.
Goat
he's
fight.
Dead
more?
now? No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goat fight.
Goat fight now. He dead now? No. No. Okay.
Yeah.
I like.
You want to keep going, Russ?
Let him go.
So and you have the Thinking Man's team, which would be leagues of Squat Man.
Yeah.
And so I think it's cool. I think they're gonna have some good stuff. And if they're a little underpowered, guess what? They'll just give them a little boost. Give them a little boosty boost.
It's also that probably
feels
that
like you're going to know your deployment if you're playing Votan. It feels like different sections of the game are going to be super important to you if you're Votan. But I like the fact that as you get better at the game, you might be like, now is the time that I will try Kazakin, because I feel like I know the core mechanics, like what Slater was saying from Turning Point Tactics. Shout out Hans. But he said that he believes that there's such a core fundamental for the game that you can plug and play any other team and use those core fundamentals. And once you've got a real good grasp on those core fundamentals, you can take a hit in movement because you can recognize the areas like they're tankier, they hit harder. You can be like, well, it's okay because I can slow my opponent down and it doesn't hurt me as much, my slow movement, as long as my positioning is good. So I feel like it will be a thinking man's team, like someone you've got to properly know the game and know its holes and its pitfalls to be able to navigate them with a team that has reduced movement, because it always feels like to a lay player, casual player, the first thing I see, because I am a casual player, is the hit on movement to me is so big because I am not good enough to play around a team which has a low move. I really rely on having the movement to get there because I'm not precise enough. I'm the person who measures, I'm measuring towards an objective a couple of times and am I in? I'm not in, but I measure it a couple of times and I'm still not in because I've not used movement correctly. Just gonna double check though.
Just one more time.
I need to double check again. Can I double check it? Yeah. So maybe that's why I think it's so bad, and it's not a big a deal to someone who can navigate a team that is slower but does other things better. But as a lay player, I do sign that.
The box set seems a little bit like the last one too, in the sense that you've got a plug and play team. Like in the last one, it was the Hands the Archon, with more the get them on the table and find out kind of thing, and then the pimped up police were the team that was obviously meant to be a bit more layered. Obviously, it hasn't gone quite that way. I think they do need a bit of help. But same thing, there was meant to be a bit more hidden depth to that team. Kind of feels that way with this one too. You've got the Felgors, the get them on the table, have some fun. Votan are going to be good, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time for people to get the best out of them. Because there's a little bit thinking about losing movement. A lot of people say it in Kill Team, movement's king. and you need that. I imagine, 2 players of equal skill level, them playing against like a Corsairs, a team that's really noticeably faster.
Yeah.
I would worry about the ability to get to objectives quick enough, positioning, having the board turned on its head because they can just change sides of the board, example. That'd be very interesting.
And they do have a 3-up save. I just checked, by the way. It was
3-up. Apologies, everybody. There's so much.
That is pretty interesting too, right? Because like we've never had a 7 wound team with a 3-up save. Like that's pretty cool. And so for being such a squishy like wound count, their save is like they're saving like a Space Marine. They got power armor on. Yeah. So again, just really interesting things that we're seeing because like we can only see the same design elements so many times. Right. Until everybody gets bored. We get bored. People designing the stuff gets bored. So they're throwing new stuff out. It's really cool. I'm down, man.
And they've got a lot of ways to
doing new things.
Retain their saves as well, which is really cool. So 3-up save, and they've got lots of tricks to retain it. They've even got ways to turn light terrain into heavy terrain, like including their own barricades as well. So that's some interesting. There's some interesting, if I guess they're probably
Stone, baby.
Yeah, Rock and Stone, baby. They're one of the few teams that are really again, a unique play style in the sense that maybe these guys are a bit more nearly like a gun line. Like, I guess they're playing into the fact that they're slow.
That's what they should be. Yeah.
So
Warhammer Fantasy, just a line of cannons.
Yeah. So
that's what you want.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, again, I think they're going to be the harder team out of the box, but I don't think it means they're going to be bad by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're going to be very interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing. Now, you guys, our last thing I want to touch on quickly with this before we move on to, we've got more fun stuff to talk about today, returns of some classics. But pre-orders, just quickly wanted to touch.
Oh, God, yeah.
This has been rough. A continuing issue.
Oof, man.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not.
As I will.
I mean, as I said, Ben, as someone who's in the retail industry, tell us more.
Oh, so I will sing the praises of the Kill Team design. The people behind Kill Team putting it together. Well, I will sing their praises. This is a real feels bad, guys. This is just a straight up feels bad. That local game stores are getting like 4 boxes, 3 boxes, 2 boxes. Like this is a super duper feels bad. Now, like, so my hope is that best case scenario, they have put so much into production for 10th edition that they've had to halt other things. But 10th edition is coming out in what? June, less than a month? Like less than a month.
Nuts.
So, or a month, whatever it is, like that stuff is all built and boxed. So even like now, it's a feels bad. I think it's a straight up feels bad, and GW needs to get more boxes to people because like
do we have a conspiracy theory here that we can start?
Well, we'd be silly not to.
Maybe let's start. They knew they were low on stock. They've been doing like bad terrain drops in these recent ITD boxes, thinking if we can drum down the excitement for this last Into the Dark box, so people won't order it because we've only got a limited stock. And then they came to it and they're like, maybe it's too popular. So they early released Ashes of Dust or whatever it's called to be like, let's kill the hype. Let's kill the hype because we don't have enough. Maybe. And it wasn't enough.
I love a conspiracy theory, Russ, and I'm with you. But hasn't
this been the case for every box?
Yeah,
I was going to say it doesn't really work because that's what happens with every box.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent. This is the first one though that I genuinely haven't been able to. I had a friend. We were going to split this one. Because he's a Votan player. He had our usual place we went to. They were just basically didn't have any. He couldn't even order them at all. So we tried 3 or 4 other places, but in that hour window of trying to try somewhere else, gone. Obviously, GW was minutes, and so I'm not. It's not the most devastating thing for me because we can kit bash these teams. I already have 900 copies of the ITD terrain. I'm not devastated, but if you were a player who was waiting for either of these teams, this was your hop on point, like it is for my friend who plays the Votan. He's been waiting ages for this team.
I know somebody who's been the same pickle.
Yeah, and it's
a lot of people like Votan, and they got Votan, and they wanted that be their in point, don't they? But yeah.
So it seems interesting. Obviously, I don't know. I don't know how you deal with things like scalpers. Obviously, straight away on eBay, you see boxes up there for 3-4 times the
beat
price.
Them up.
Yeah,
you just beat them up real bad.
Apart from physical assaults,
kill him with fire. With fire. So.
It's like, hey, I'd like to pick the box up from your house. And then just, but it's I don't understand. Well, I don't know what the solution is, but yeah, is it a supply issue? Is it that classic sales mentality of you can't have it, so you want it more? I don't know. Or is it just bad logistics?
I just don't think I mean, I didn't even try to get this box. You don't need every box, and this was the one that I was like, I
missed out on this one too. Yeah. I didn't even try.
Yeah. So I'm not devastated, but if this happens with say
three of the most important kill team personalities,
and we can't get our
couldn't even get a box. Woo. Royalty.
We could have split it. One of us could have had terrain. One of us could have had the Felgor. We would have split it.
Who's getting terrain? Who loses that and gets terrain?
I'll jump on the grenade.
Yeah.
I'll jump on the grenade.
Russ, you live next door to the GW HQ. Jump over the fence and get us a copy, mate. Come on.
I was going to say, I've got the litter in the streets. People are just throwing them out over here. You didn't get any. Oh, my grand's got them, and she's been dead for 10 years. It's all over the place.
I'll trade you some Underberg, right? I will post you.
Picture
deal.
In my mind, I just picture, and like, when you see like an old medieval movie and an old lady like throws out a bucket of water out the window and it lands on somebody. It's like throwing out into the dark terrain, like buckets of.
Yes. But yeah.
So we may have to storm it, but it does make me worried because I'm really excited.
Are we storming again?
Ashes of Faith, and so I'm getting ready. I will be storming again if Ashes of Faith. If I have this same issue, because I reckon it's going to be even more popular. Oh, there we go. Ben's already started.
That would be a feels bad. I really want Ashes of Fate, and if they don't have that, then I might initiate the storming.
And I can guarantee it's going to be like 10 times more popular than this was. Like,
I think so.
We know people are already pretty fatigued by the time this came out. Like with Gallowfall stuff, we know people are a bit like, I don't really want the terrain anymore. This next one, this is the legit like big kickoff launch of their next thing.
Exactly. They've cut the chaff.
Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm genuinely nervous about us, the three faces.
I didn't even think about that.
Of Kill Team, Casualty, Royalty.
Can we not pull strings? Have we got nothing?
We can, but they're not attached to anything.
We got nothing. That's it. We got nothing. We got straight up nothing.
Oh, good God.
We're scrappy.
Yeah.
We're scrappy.
But yes,
GW's been doing this.
I think we've threatened too many storms that have not come. They know we've got nothing. We know it's an empty promise. It's like they're threatened to. The casuals are threatening to storm and burn down Nottingham again. It's like, isn't that the fourth time?
Is
it's
it
like,
Monday again?
Let it burn. Let it burn.
Ever since they put that moat in, it's been really difficult. It's been really.
We just can't be bothered.
Hell, I don't want to get wet. It's cold in England.
Too casual to burn.
Come on.
Too casual to storm.
My torch keeps going out.
Well, speaking of Into the Dark Terrain, guys, do you guys think that we have settled this and just given the definitive opinions on this box?
Yeah, I think we've exhausted it now.
We've beat it to
said
death.
What needed to be said.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're positive. We're excited, except for the fact that you can't get it. That's where we're upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm keen to dig into the rules a little bit more. But I think the overall message that we're bringing, and I think I agree with it, is don't panic quite. Like no rage, less rage. We'll see how it goes out, but I think we'll be okay in the long run. We'll have a good game still. Yeah, I'm keen to see. I'm keen to delve into it.
Well, let's.
I might try the Votan.
Yeah, don't give a board game permission to ruin your life,
ruin your day.
Don't give. You're like we choose what we're outraged by. Do not give Kill Team permission to depress you. That's so foolish. It's great. Love it. Enjoy it. Anyways, moving on. Right.
Yes.
Speaking of Into the Dark Terrain, do you guys want to go where I think we're going, or do we have somewhere else to be?
No, you tell me. You take us there.
Something just.
I might be taking this just like the shirt says. Well, speaking of Into the Dark Terrain, we were supposed to have a special guest on this episode, but the Wi-Fi in California went out.
Oh no!
So
all of California.
Oh, the whole thing. Yeah. So our beloved Emmanuel from Strategic Advantage, who's been crushing. Yeah, friend of the show, best friend of the show, who's been crushing hobby challenges, just raining them down like blows upon our head month after month, crushing it. We have to talk about this past terrain competition.
Yeah,
and I have the article here pulled up. If you want the details on this all in one place, go to strategicadvantagetheblog.com. It's Google Strategic Advantage Kill Team. It'll come up. And it's a great blog with all kinds of stuff. But there's an article about all this. And I have it pulled up. Do you guys have it pulled up or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll just go through. There's some really incredible entries. We got a couple. Wait, I had it pulled up, and then I pulled up. I just love the blog so much that I was on a different article because I just got so mesmerized. And so we have some really cool stuff. Shout out to after Emmanuel for running this challenge. Shout out to the Squad Games podcast. All three of them. We got Dakota, Saya, and G all entered with some really cool Into the Dark Terrain.
Oh yeah, I've got it up now. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to guys, you guys have to vote on a winner. So the voting has been live for a little bit. It is still live. So go in there, follow the link, vote. My favorite is someone entered Octarius Terrain. I love and support this because mine is still unpainted as well.
Oh, boo. And that's the best terrain.
Yeah, it is the best. It is the best. Like, guys, man, James Wales is just blowing me away. Like,
his
work is blowing me TF away.
That Sisters of Battle little shrine.
The shrine, yes.
Amazing. So cool.
Yeah.
For the novitiates.
Yeah, so, insane work.
Cool. We'll make sure.
I'm
gonna just quickly copy. I'm going to pop the link in the chat there for those who haven't seen it.
Yeah.
That's it there. Obviously, all accessible as well through the Battle Brothers Tabletop Discord. It's all there as well.
Yep.
It's get in there and vote.
Really sweet. Like a Nurgle themed board, super cool. Here's really rad stuff. Cool. So yeah, go ahead and vote. We got to crown a winner because the winner of this is getting a Kill Team team box. So vote. Some really crazy stuff. And then do we get to announce? You guys know? Do we get to announce the next challenge? Or do we have to wait for Emmanuel on that?
Well, I don't know. He was meant to be here. Do we go?
I thought he'd be here.
I would want to ask him, but now he's got no internet.
Well, worst case scenario, you'll have to just stay tuned for the next challenge. But the next challenge is going to be flippin' spicy. I'm pumped for it.
Yes.
I already have ideas planned for it. And so I'm gonna beat everybody. I'm just gonna lay that down right now. I think I will beat everybody. And I will win our own competition. I'm calling the shot. I'm seeing the shot. I'm calling it. I think I'm going to win. So sorry, fellas.
A big shout out.
I want people to clip this.
Yeah. We'll come back to this.
Play it back.
Circle around.
And my submission is half finished.
Yeah. Gray plastic. And it's like,
just want to say, make sure we do say to Emmanuel, obviously he's been driving all those challenges off his own bat and from the goodness of his heart. And it's been fantastic. He's a real champion of just the hobby. He's passionate about it. He's enthusiastic, and his passion has definitely shown through in those. He gets involved himself. He does amazing stuff with that. So it's been a real pleasure having him doing that. So make sure we do our best to check out, make sure we vote and definitely get on board with this next one because we want to get as many people on board as we can for this last one. Make it a big, good kabang for this, and make sure we have enough entries in there to make that Ben's just gets lost in the wash. That there's so many good entries.
I think that's the main thing. Yeah,
beat me. You won't.
Yeah.
You won't.
You know what? This is like a glove, and he's challenging the entire community. A slap to the face. He's like, try and beat me.
Ben versus the people.
Ben versus it's BV the P. That's what it's gonna be.
So yeah, so that's really cool. So make sure voting, and then we'll chat to Manuel this week, and we'll announce next week for sure.
Yeah, we don't want to steal his thunder. We won't steal his thunder, but it's
we might even be able to
one.
wrangle him and get him on next week to take us through it. So we'll save it. Save your guns. Now, the other classic things or things where I'm excited to talk about, it's another return of another classic segment, Ben. This is one of yours.
Me?
And I guess
Mine?
Yes. And I guess usually I would want to explain it, but I'm going to let the intro speak for itself.
What you got there, buddy? Let's take a look. Don't be scared, it's just your new favorite book. Ben's Book Club.
What? It's the book club.
So sweet.
We
So mellow.
We
So
haven't had
Tender.
this since we failed at our own book club last time.
Yes, since I didn't follow up with our last book. The last book was the first one in the Night Lords trilogy.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
Soul Hunter?
Go read it if you want to. Yeah, Soul Hunter or Hunter or something. It's
recommend.
incredible.
It was a great
it's great.
book.
I've read it
I
twice
really
now.
enjoyed it. Do we want to
Yeah.
briefly? I mean, it's a great book. There's some great moments in
It's
it.
good.
If you
Go
enjoy,
read it. Sorry, I failed.
if you enjoy
I failed
the
this.
Night Hunters.
I failed everyone. I didn't
It's a
follow
good
up. But go read it. It's cool. Even if you like Night Lords, if you like chaos in general,
Yeah.
you will like it.
I
Speaking
thought-
of chaos in
Space
general,
vampires.
Ooh.
yes, the most general of chaos.
Mm.
The next book, Rhys, do you have something to throw in before we announce?
No, I'm just excited.
Oh, just excited? Me too. So the next
Enthusiastic.
book that we will be reading is one. I cannot find a 40K book that Rhys has not read. Try as I might, I cannot find one.
I
The
think
only
this
ones
needs to
that he
be a
has
new
not read.
challenge.
Yes, I think so too. The only books that he hasn't read are the ones that haven't been released, and even those I feel like he's already halfway through. So the book that we're going to be reading for this next month, or a month from 4 weeks out from this, is Talon of Horus. It is a really. I've already started reading it, so I got a leg up on the competition again. I'm going to win both.
I'm going to read better than you.
So I'm going to win. Win my own book club. Ooh, yeah, I listen because I can't read. Ooh, and so it's sort of the founding of the Black Legion. It's really, really interesting. I want to highlight a character. Now, for me, this is high praise for me because I do not like. I've never really cared for Thousand Sons. I've never read about Thousand Sons, but I don't really care for Thousand Sons. Yeah, something it just never grabbed me. But there's like a character in this book. The main character is Kandar Kaon, I believe his name is. And something like that, and he is a 1,000 son, and he's a really, really interesting. Shut up, gentlemen. He is a really cool character. Just like you'd love him, you'd like him. In chaos, again, it's like hard to write chaos because how chaosy and vile and wicked do you go? And like before you like hate this person. He's so likable. He's a great character. There's a really cool. I'm not going to say much more, but there's a really cool world eater who, instead of like favoring chain weapons in close combat, he favors a heavy bolter. Like that's kind of interesting. And yeah,
like
just
that.
really
But
cool
he still
characters.
just
Founding
beats
of the
people
Black-
to death with it. He just crushes. It's just a big
Unloaded.
bludgeon.
He's just clubbing it. Yeah.
No bullets.
Yeah,
No
old
Amazing.
Fire Fist. Yeah, it is empty. Yeah, old Fire Fist. What's his name? Laheo or something like that, or Lahio or something.
You're the cheat.
I forget.
You're telling the story here.
Yeah, so he's great, and the great character is good chaos. So we're gonna read it.
Yeah.
What do you think, boys?
I'm
Rhys, how long ago did
Yeah,
you read
man,
this book?
I'm keen. I've not read it. I know Rhys
It's
has.
been that long that when you said those things, like those kept like slithers of memory came back as you mentioned those characters. But it's been long enough that I'm actually excited to read it. But one thing I do remember, and this is what I like about the Black Legion in general, Abaddon and all that stuff, I still love that, like, yes, they're super evil and but there is, as you said, there's still some element of like grey about some of them, like it is this, they're a bit motley, assorted, it's bringing all these disparate groups together under one banner and making that work. And that's what I think what makes the Black Legion, not just the Ultramarines of the bad guys, in my mind, is I think there's some real depth and flavor in these. And this book does a great job of showing that, of why they're actually a really interesting Legion, and why they're not just, Black Ultramarines.
Yeah, 100%.
fight and talk.
What do you think about this? What do you think about this, Russ? What do you think about the book?
I'm really keen. You know, I've read so much 30k and I've read so little 40k. I think all the 40k books I've read have been recommendations from our book club, and I'm really happy about it because I'm reading a lot more 40k than I would normally. And I don't know why. I don't know why I've got this opinion, and it's formed out of nowhere. But I feel like 30k feels like a more refined lore set. I have no idea why. I'm like 30k is the precursor to all this stuff, and all this other stuff is just to sell the game. But, you know, I don't know why I feel like, because 30k for me at the time it was released wasn't linked to the game. I'm just like, it's pure story for story's sake. Whereas 40k, I feel like it's trying to push the sale of something. So I was always like, and there's so much of it. I'm just like, damn, I don't know where to start. And I've had a few suggestions. So I read the Soul Drinkers, and I loved that. I thought it was a great one. I read the Omnibus. No, it's not Ben. Is it Ben Coulter? Ben Coulter. Yeah. I really like that. And there's some authors that I like, and I sometimes read some of their books. But the ones that we've done for book club, I've enjoyed them all, and I'm finding it more and more that 40k I actually really enjoy the lore, and it's not as far from 30k as I think. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really looking forward, and I love the Black Legion. So I think it's going to be so much fun because again, it takes me back to the first 3 books of 30k, where it's the Sons of Horus, and that idea, because that's where I started. The first books I read were those books, and I was like, yes, I'm ready. I'm ready to get back in that, but with, you know, the new generation of the Sons of Horus. So I'm keen, maybe too keen.
Yeah, well, no, there's no such thing. There's no such thing.
Well, there's 2 books. If you're too keen, that's 1 keen for each book in the Black Legion series.
Nice.
Double keen.
So spend 1 keen on the Talon of Horus, and your next keen on Black Legion. Who knows? Maybe we'll do both. Or maybe we won't follow through.
These rules are getting pretty convoluted. Are we sure we haven't dipped into Legions of Russ here? I'm going to need some rules.
Maybe we should
to understand what's going on here.
Maybe that's the best segue you've ever accidentally ever done, Russ. Maybe that's where we're going next.
Good luck to us. We'll only say this once. It's finally time for Legions of Russ.
What a segue, Russ. Well done.
Oh,
some of your best.
Ben, can I get an attaboy for that segue? No.
Attaboy.
I'll remember this.
Right.
Thank you. I was going to remember that.
You can have an extra keen for that to spend as you will.
3 keens?
You can have
That's
3
too much.
Keens.
That's too much.
No, you guys still
only 3 keens a day.
Only 3.
More than 3 keens a day, and then that is dangerous territory, my friend.
That's egregious.
That's a dangerous game.
I'm about to spasm with 3 keens in my system. So
you're gonna have to see a doctor, man. More than 3 keens a day, and you have to go talk to a doctor, dude.
Yeah, you'll be sitting on the toilet all day after 3 keens.
You have to have a cool down period between your keens. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, I just need to be. I just need to be. You know, you start shaking. I'm not keen. So yeah, I'll take a timeout. Okay, I'll take a keen timeout, and I'll go through the rules. I have too much in it.
He's keened himself.
Oh God. So welcome to Legions of Russ. It's that time again where we test the bounds of madness as we as a community share. In this game show of sorts, please. It's a game show of sorts. I read out a clue, riddle, cryptic mind puzzle dredged forth, frothing and naked from the septic tank that is my brain, for our contestants to guess upon. It could be a guard regiment, a legion of space marines, but regardless, it's likely to be obscure. But who knows? It could be your favorite.
Ooh.
Now, in this game, contestants, if you can hear me, this means you. You shout out your name as your buzzer, and you hurl guesses like freshly warmed socks at me, your friendly host. And now the victory conditions. First, we have the partial guess. If you can partially guess the correct answer, you gain 1 victory point, sir. If you can do this before clues are given, then you receive an extra victory point. That's 2 victory points for your partial guess. And then we have the completion guess. If you make the completion guess, then you score a 1 victory point. And as a bonus, if you're able to score the partial and the completion guess at the same time without clues, you score an additional victory point for the completion tack up. And if that made sense to you, then your names are probably not Ben or Rhys. So let's go to the guys and see how they're feeling about today's game. Ben, how are you feeling?
Not good, brother. Never good. I'm never good until I get at least a partial guess.
Ooh.
But I'm not feeling good.
That's music to my ears. That's a salve to my soul. Rhys, how are you doing? The Heartbreak King. HBK, Rhys, how is it going?
HBK is and has been running off not much sleep at all for the past few weeks. So
That might be even better.
You know, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it puts me in the maddened state of like a pickled egg infused Russ, but at other times it's just mush in my brain. So look, I'm going to put myself
mush brain Ben.
Yeah, at 1.3 Keens for today's game.
Wow.
1.3.
Okay.
1.3 Keens.
That feels solid. That feels solid.
I'm
Two's your
excited,
sweet spot, I
but
feel.
apprehensive.
That's bong bong.
Bing bong.
Okay. So, chat, I have got the chat open and I am looking at the chat and I am also speaking to fill the silence while I load things up.
Oh, you get your life.
And now I've stopped because I'm thinking. But we are here. So, okay, I've got the setup ready. I've got the boys over here ready to be humbled. And I've got the chat here ready to destroy. So, if you're listening, ready to the humblers and the humblies ready to meet in the field of mental
humble
combat.
And the humble's not.
Yeah. So, we have 2 Legions of Russ ready for your enjoyment. Let's say enjoyment, but let's be fair. It is not your enjoyment. If you are in the chat, you don't have to say your name out, but if you are listening, I'm afraid it is mandatory. You will have to shout your name. Ben, Rhys, you are bound by the same rules. You must shout your name for it to be counted.
The sacred scriptures say so.
This is what it says. All rules are adjudicated by myself, and I have the final say. Ben, I just throw that in there to, when I obviously favor one of you. Guys, I want to make sure that you close down the chat so you can't get clues from what are arguably better players than yourselves.
I don't even think it's arguably.
No,
I think it's just definitively better players.
We had there was some content. Rhys, I feel like, didn't Rhys recently smoke the chat with a couple of guesses? I feel like last time we had Slater on
the chat, and
I feel like we had some smoking against chat. I mean, this was
Ben, you weren't there, mate. That's why. Okay.
That was it, maybe. So we have, I don't know who's in the chat. We got we have Ali, seasoned Primaris painter, who is a classic Legion of Russer. And I'm not sure if we've got Lapscallion in the chat tonight, so you guys might be getting lucky.
We might have a chance.
There's some cagey veterans in there and some newcomers too. We might even know how the newcomers might come in off the top rope.
Norley 2 looks like he's ready. He's already shouted his name. His guess is just coming. He's loading his guess. He's preemptively shouted his own name.
Ready to shout it from the rooftops.
I'm hopeful. I as always, I root for the chat. But let's get into it. So I'm going to give you guys your first and only clue. I mean, that's not true, but your first clue. Imperium. That is your clue, basically. So but I do now. Yeah, so I'm not going to tell you what field of the Imperium they come from, but you will get at least the clue that it is the Imperium.
Okay,
so
that's something.
Use that to your advantage. Okay. Sorry, Papa Kraken said, "What is an edible snipe tonight, lads?"
An edible snipe.
You get an extra victory point for an edible snipe.
Yeah.
So, here we go. My gosh darn crusted apple pudding just up and legged it away from me, pulling along behind it a group of dumb thugs. I will read it once again, slowly. My gosh darn crusted apple pudding just up and legged it away from me, pulling along behind it a group of dumb thugs. Ben, the look on your face is priceless. I hope everyone else is also catching this.
I just feel persecuted because I feel like a crusted apple pudding is so not American.
That's so British.
I tried to make it. I tried to make it. That's not what I would have said. I tried to make it more American by not using the word that is the word.
What about Australian? What's with the favoritism?
I don't know. I have no idea.
You just
You guys
what
even have
Australian
culture?
terminology That's collusion, my friend. That is collusion.
I feel bad. I'm just trying to think of my how people have like what kind of cultural references I have from Australia, and it kind of is Croc Dundee and
Crikey.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Crikey culture. That's what you guys have.
Crikey
Right?
culture. Yeah.
Muriel's wedding.
That's what
I've
I
got
teach at
Muriel's
school is
wedding
crikey culture.
in Croc Dundee. Yeah. I'm going to give
say
you
it one more time
clue.
slow for Ben.
Just for me. Just for me, please.
Just for Ben.
So, okay. Right. Sorry, some of these, I don't want Norley's guess is killing me. So, my gosh darn crusted apple pudding just upped and legged it away from me, pulling along behind it a group of dumb thugs. Because I had some trouble making the first word or the first part of the word make sense internationally.
Yes.
I'm going to give you a clue. In America, you might call a pizza this.
Okay.
Whereas
got that.
in
Easy then.
Whereas in the UK, we would have it as more of a meat,
a meat thing,
or pudding. We call puddings this as well. So you can have a sweet or savory. Whereas it's so
Rhys.
I did try. Okay.
Screw you. Get out.
This is not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be either because I'm assuming this is two.
Oh, this is an Uzi.
This is an Uzi. I'm
Uzi?
getting in because I'm sick of getting Uzi. I'm now
This
the
is a
Uzi
Carl
girl.
Weathers.
This is so shit. Is it the Pie Run Brutes?
It's not, but you're going to get half a victory point. Well, not half a victory point. You get 1 victory point for a partial guess.
Ooh.
So Pyran is correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
1 victory point for Rhys. So
Wow.
my
This is
gosh
me.
darned crusted
This is
apple
me.
pudding.
Good
So that is
Lord.
pie. So it's a pie, apple pie, but pizza pie. Just up and legged it away from me is ran. So Pyran or Pyran.
Yep.
Oh, Ali, you're very close.
Ooh.
I think you probably
What's the
have
second
got
half?
it. But you
What's the
just
second half?
missed the first part of the word. The second part is pulling along behind it a group of dumb thugs. So pulling along behind it, what would be the word to do? Yes, Admiral Rudy has got it. So pulling along behind it,
Dumb
a group
thugs.
of dumb thugs. So that is a 1 victory point for Admiral Rudy for the completion guess, and 1 victory point currently for Rhys. So it's evens, even Stevens. But we still got the boys trying to figure out the last part of it. Yeah, I was going to say I appreciate that. Rudy's graciously giving that to Ali, Primar's painter, because he pretty much got it.
Well, it's Pyran, right? That's the first part.
Yep,
drag your goons, Pyran dragoons.
Oh,
that's the one. Pyran dragoons.
I had drag written down. I just couldn't. I had drag brutes. Is what I had. I said drag brutes.
Oh,
brutes, goons. So a lot of people were putting
of course, hired
brutes.
goons.
Yes.
I was like, drag idiots, drag fools. I was trying to like.
So the Pyran dragoons, and there's a quote that is from the classic Commissar Yarrick, and he said, "By the Emperor, those men do war honor." And that was commenting on the Pyran dragoons after the Battle of get this, Helltown. There was a battle, a Helltown. Can you get more 40K
Why fight over it?
than that?
Why fight over it? Let it go.
Where the hell City? So they're an elite Astra-Militarium regiment that hail from the civilized world of, you probably guessed it, Pyran. It's located in the Armageddon subsector of the Segmentum Solar, so you imagine there's going to be a lot of orcs around there. They are considered very haughty, conceited, and proud, so, British. They are noticeably intolerant of those who are ignorant of the nuances of their stringent caste-based society.
And they love a pie.
Yeah. and they love a pie. So they don't actually, they don't work well with others. Don't play well with others is their big old thing. They don't like to collaborate with other Imperial Guard formations because they're the best, obviously. But yeah, very cool. But yeah, that's them. The Pyrran Dragoons.
That's a tie. That's a 3-way tie, right?
That's a 3-way.
Yeah.
That's
so
tip to
that's
tip.
how it goes. One victory, tip to tip. 1 victory point each for the technically for the chat, for Rhys and for Ben.
Wow. All right. Feeling better. We've got another one that we can attempt to break the tie. So let's do it.
Play it up inside itself.
Good luck to us. We'll only say this once. It's finally time for Legions of Russ.
Ah, magic. Just magic.
So sweet.
Magic. So I think we're being told that maybe Victor NYC also I might have missed Victor NYC for getting Pyrran early. It looks like it. Pygoons, Victory Pygoons, Pylons, Pyron Goon. Yeah, he might have got it quite. Pylon. He might have got it early. I don't know the exact
What's
time.
happening there?
Yeah. We'll see.
It's one of my
He
accolades.
I was a proper Uzi from Victor NYC, so love it.
I respect the Uzi.
I respect it now too. It got me a point.
Listen, if you can't have quantity, you can at least have if you can't have quality, you can at least have quantity. Or something
one of my favorite quotes is from a game, and it talks about it's a World War II based game, bolt action, and there's a rule for the Russian forces, and it says quantity is a quality of its own. That was like the idea. It's like just not got quality, but quantity.
Just get them in there.
So we have a next one, and I'm going to give you the clue. It is chaos.
Ooh,
so that brings it in a bit closer, but it could be a cult, it could be a Chaos Space Marine, or it's a little bit less.
I reckon Chaos ones are definitely harder because their lexicanum contains so many made up words.
Yeah, it
not
is
even
kind
of well known.
They're just made up.
Yeah, and you can kind of you learn to think in the Imperium language a little bit. Like you get to think of
that's how it works.
Yeah, but chaos is dude, it's the wild, wild west out here.
It's out there. I'm going to give you a little bit more of a hint here.
Okay.
Save us for
call
myself.
it a blessing. I'm being kind. So this is just to give you an idea. This is a cult. I'm going to tell you it's a cult because it's going to be cult of the. Cult. So there's quite a lot of cults that are cult of the.
Oh, so it's cult of the something.
So it's going to be cult of the. I'm not going to give you that first. It's cult of the, and then this is the cult.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the name of the cult, and you have to guess the cult.
Okay.
So a little bit of an extra clue there.
Okay.
I got the first 3 words. That's fantastic.
Boom. Uzi.
That's the most generous clue you've ever given.
So because of that, this might be a quick one. So hopefully this will break the deadlock, and someone can snipe it for the 4 victory points. Cha 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 cha. So. Ben, are you ready?
I'm very ready.
You look confident.
He looks confident.
Oh, he flipped it. Up.
I flipped it. Yeah.
He said that with confidence, though.
myself.
He said that with confidence. It's deception.
That's what it was. It flipped me on there. So Bam Bam's.
I'm just excited.
Confident
I'm just excited to be here with you guys. I'm just excited to be here with my boys in the chat.
Love.
I'm just happy to be here.
Big love. HBK, sexy boy, how are you feeling?
Look, I'm up to 1.5 keens now. After getting that early 1 pointer there, 1.5 keens.
Yeah.
We've gone up.
Love it. Okay. Chat, get ready for your second and final of today's Legions of Russ. Famous uncle from Hump Day's family gets a looping band of gold from his septum piercing, and you mustn't do this or it'll get infected. Famous uncle from Hump Day's family gets a looping band of gold from his septum piercing, and you mustn't do this or it'll get infected.
Ben, partial guess.
Oh, wow.
Festering.
Okay, Ben. Oh, baby. 1 victory point for a partial guess for Ben for festering.
Ben goes up. Cult of the Festering Wound.
Oh, so close, but it's not quite. You still just on that one victory point.
I just had to jump for it.
You went for it, and that was good. That you landed yourself. Norley said, "What is cult of the tasking of taking a bath with your grandpa?" It's not that one.
That's a cult we can all get around.
That sounds like the hell of a cult.
So cult of the festering something.
Mama. So we've got festering.
Yeah.
So Ben's on one victory point.
So the
We're
remaining
not on
clues now. Oh, so what's gone? What's left in Clue Town?
So we've got. No victory NYC. Not quite.
Ben. Cult of the festering touch. Don't touch your piercing.
You don't touch your piercing or it'll get infected. Ben snipes that for a 4 victory point sweep.
Is that it?
Ben gets the victory point. Ooh, mama.
I had festering nose
baby
pick.
boy.
That's where I was at. Festering nose pick.
Bam, bam. The landslide Bigelow has just body slammed his way. Oh, mama. So it was indeed
Sexy boy Rhys and sloppy seconds Ben over here. All right.
So it's, as you quite imagine, it is a Nurgle Chaos cult, and it served in Typhus's plague fleet during the War of the Spider.
Ooh.
Okay.
Exactly. And as you might imagine, the War of the Spider was about between Fabulous Bill, Typhus the Traveler, and the Imperium during the Psychic Awakening. So I imagine it was probably part of the 8th edition. Did they release books for War of the Spider? I believe so. Yeah, it's Typhus the Traveler, which I don't believe. I think that is still just Typhus, the Herald of Chaos, the one you know. It's just a different name he goes by.
You know and love.
Alice Typhon from the Death Guard.
The artist formerly known as.
From Barbarous. So yeah, well done, guys. Yes.
Well done, Ben.
All right.
I hate you.
That was a good one.
Good. You did well.
Ben scored. So Ben got a total of, 5 victory points in this round.
Oof.
5-1. Ben beat the chat. I know.
That might be a first. I don't think I've ever beat the chat before. That one just locked in my brain. I don't know why. Like Cult of the, maybe that helped. Maybe having that primer helped a little bit. But
maybe
the Wednesday and the Wednesday thing, I was like, okay, what's his name? Lester or what is it?
Fester.
You did so well to get
Fester?
that.
Okay.
My brain did not go there. And when you said it, I'm like, that is so obvious.
Yeah.
I was like, I should have got that.
What?
Yeah. I was like, I should have got that. Hump
Wednesday.
Day. Yeah. I should have got that.
Well done. Well, let's play us out for Ben's victory one more time. Legions of Russ.
Good luck to us. We'll only say this once. It's finally time for Legions of Russ.
I also love how sexual the chat has got.
Yes.
With the cult,
I gotta pull this back
cult
up.
names now. I just brought that up in our clip there, and yeah, it's getting weird.
Over the Gallowfall pre-order queue.
I'm
Cult of the festering disappointment.
That's my favorite. The Cult of the festering disappointment just keeps eating away at you. I'm so disappointed. That's how I feel. I'm gonna have to join that cult after today. This is ridiculous. Just eating away at my soul. I'll tell you what. A
Thank you.
A big shout out to the chat today because they have been on fire.
Keeping it lively.
They've been killing me.
Yeah. I love seeing everyone in there. Not just joining in on the show, but chatting to each other. Big part of the community. I love seeing that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, I really love it.
So thank you so much, everyone, making the time to join us live. It adds something to the show for us. But I hope you guys really enjoy getting to be part of Legions of Russ and part of the show as well, because it's it makes me smile every time that people would turn up live to watch us do this nonsense.
Yeah. It is really fun and really makes the show for me. You guys, love you guys, but the chat is really really makes it, honestly. Like in a rare touching, heartfelt moment like the chat, you guys are
we getting sincere.
Bad. Yeah, Ben will call you in a second.
Sincere?
Ben will slap you back down in a second. Wait for it.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I feel like I stand on the shoulders of giants, and by that I mean I stand on my own shoulders from the last time I won. Which nobody can remember the last time I won because it's been that long. Good times. Good stuff all around.
That's fantastic. Well, look, I think that's the show for another day. It was a good one. I'm still shocked and weirdly uncomfortable with how much positivity we brought to the new box set. I think
I'm all about it.
And you know what? I'm here for it. A little bit of positive, bit of love. This is a great hobby we get to enjoy. And as Ben said, it's about enjoying it. Don't let it bring you down. Don't let it ruin your day. The rules get fixed. It's okay.
Yeah. Listen, life is stressful enough. Life can be hard enough and like heavy enough that, man, this is your hobby. Come here to enjoy it. Come here to let it lift the burdens off of your life. Have a good time. Shoot your friends' little toy soldiers. Laugh about it. Don't give it permission to ruin your day or your life. Easy stuff. This is easy.
Wise words from the great man standing on his own shoulders, Ben the King Campbell.
Bam Bigelow himself.
As always, thank you, Russ, for your wonderful Legions of Russ and just being here, just being a great co-host of the show. Thank you as always.
Big love.
Sweet.
Big
Look
love.
at this. Sweet.
Look
moment.
at this. Whoa, it makes me sick. Oh, big love over from me to you guys. I know we hit like another landmark downloads or something like that recently.
We did.
25,000.
25K.
Yes, we all shared it on our Instagram. It felt weird sharing it because you see those milestone things, and I don't ever share that as a brag or a humble brag to be like, oh, look how good. I always do it because I am shocked at how many people take their time out of their day to listen to us. It blows me away, and I'm glad that people are clearly obviously enjoying in what we're doing, and we enjoy doing it. So it's just more of to see those numbers. It's more of a thank you to the.
I was going to say it's not a brag. It is just still semi amazed. It's got that much, and I just want to say personally, guys, it's almost been a year since we started this.
No way.
I think we started it exactly. I looked up. I think we started in June, maybe in 2022, and it's just nuts that we've been chatting. I mean, longer than that, obviously, but we've been doing this officially as a pod. Wow! And then we went live, and we got all the guys in the chat involved, and it's just such a lovely little community. And I just want to say big love. I've loved being part of this pod and this little community that we now have, this little kill team community, and we're getting very sincere at the end of this episode. But yeah, big old love.
No, it's fantastic. Ben, as always, thank you to the big man at Battle Brothers Tables. I'm bringing positivity and love to the hobby that's well needed. That's for sure.
We're trying over here. We're trying. There are some who would try and bring negativity, and we are just swatting it down. We are manning the wall, and we are swatting down negativity and gatekeeping from this hobby. And that's the walls. Those are the only walls that we're manning, gentlemen.
Definitely. I think too, we'll look at, someone said it in the chat there, Primaris Painter. I think we will look at trying to do something a bit special for a 1 year celebration. Maybe we'll do one of those old TV shows, just a look back at the best of. I don't know. I don't have that
just
time
a clip
to go back
of
through
all the technical
all of our
difficulties
videos and the 3 years worth of us talking absolute nonsense. I'm not about that life, but if someone wants to, I'm not gonna stop them.
Yeah. And then I do want to highlight, because we had it here, a Legionary of Russ, the Legionary of Russ, Admiral Rudy says, don't forget about the Love Shack. That is the general voice chat. Me and AO Adrian have a good time, or AO Adrian, excuse me, is Legionary of Russ. Have a good time on our non-exclusive Monday night dates. So they hang out there. In the
it's so cool.
In the voice chat. I wish I could be there with them. I'm a little jealous. I wish I could hang out with you guys.
I know what you mean.
And so feel free to hop in there, and you can like live react, live listen. That's very cool. They're two of they're two of the coolest folks in the Battle Brothers. And the Battle Brothers tabletop server is like a shared casual wargaming situation. Yeah, we got everybody in there, and they're two of the coolest pillars in there. So hang out with them. They're very cool.
We chatted with Admiral Rudy when we did a live hobby hangout once, and he was a lovely dude. And obviously, IO Adrian, we've had on the pod a couple of times, and he's a lovely Keanu Reeves looking kind of dude with the best voice for radio ever.
Hanging out in the back room.
Let's be clear.
Just love it.
That dude sounds like sexual chocolate. You love it.
with a voice for radio and a face for television, man.
Oh, a face for the bedroom, a voice for the bedroom. It's just all good. All good, and it's all love. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm all loved out. I'm going to have to go clean myself up now. Thank you so much to everyone
Clean
for
yourself
listening.
off.
Yes. Yeah. Quick hose down in the backyard. We'll be back next week with more shenanigans. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you then.
Later, guys. Much love.
See you later, guys.
Now I'm going to find the end screen because I always lose it. There it is.
Just a picture of the dog.
As always, a big old sloppery wet kiss of a thank you to all our patrons who help support the channel. A huge thanks to Kill Team Ken, Roscoe88, Justin Kung, Average Joe 27, Kill Team Cascadia, Craig F. Lincoln, George, Alan Chapman, Hillux, Swanky McMofo, Stooge Co., Admiral Rudy, Michael Richard, Gordon Ballantyne, Dave B, Io Adrian, Jack Whittingham, and Trilly Chatterjee. We couldn't do half of what we do without your support, so thanks so much.